Hi, this is Garibay, and today let's talk about Vivek Ramaswamy, and is there a threat to Vivek Ramaswamy's 2024 U.S. presidential run from the announcement of Cenk Uygur announcing that he will run on the Democrat side? It's an interesting, so here we have, somebody's coming in and they're coming in hot, and saying, hey, I'm jumping into the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Vivek needs to be aware of all candidates on all sides, and especially anybody jumping in late. Why do people jumping in late matter? Well, we learned it from the last time, which was Mike Bloomberg. Oh my gosh. That was a hot mess, right? So Mike Bloomberg jumped in 2020 late, right? And it was outrageous. I never saw anything like it in my life. You had guys like Vivek Ramaswamy on the Democrat side, working hard, making their run, 16 months out. He jumped in and had missed like half the debates and seemed to be able to just like wave away a whole bunch of requirements by just throwing money at it. Literally billions. Mike Bloomberg is a billionaire. Please correct my history if I'm not remembering any of this correctly, but I think I got it spot on. And I was appalled at just this billionaire showing up latte going, oh, sorry, I didn't want to work hard, so I thought I'd just skip half the candidates, half the presidential race, roll in late, wave a few $1 billion around, and be treated like a real candidate, right? Like, it's a mess, right? Now, I can tell you right now, Cenk Uygur is not a billionaire, but any late entries need to be paid attention to. So let's talk about Cenk Uygur. I'll tell you who Cenk Uygur is, and then we're going to talk about if he is a threat to Vivek Ramaswamy's absolutely comet-like momentum toward the 2024 U.S. presidential election, as President Donald Trump assures us every single day that he's no longer capable of even debating, let alone running a country. We hear you. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. No capability, no courage. Got it. Note taken. Let's move. All right, so because we have a candidate who can debate, right? Who can do exactly what President Trump used to be able to do. Show up, show out. Show up at the debate and knock down every pin, right? Trump used to be able to do that. Now he's 80, right? Now he's closer to a coffin than he is capability, right? But we got a candidate who's closer to capability than he is a coffin, unlike President Biden, right? So let's all clap for capability, boo for coffins, right? Like, this is where we at. I do not want a coffin for a president, right? And voting any 80-year-old in is exactly what you're going to get. It's guaranteed. We just watched it happen with Dianne Feinstein, right? In real time, right? People keep getting evidence shoved in their face. They're like, oh, science doesn't matter. Well, I don't know about that. Like, I think it does. All right. All right. Sorry. So let me stay focused. All right. Okay. Cenk Uygur. Who the heck is he? He is the primary voice on the Young Turks. What the heck is the Young Turks? Has been news media from YouTube. It's a YouTube channel that's no longer relevant, right? Now, why are they no longer relevant? Because because they don't even know what they are. Okay, my take on the Young Turks, hey man, this ain't my rodeo. I've been listening to a lot of political commentary for a long time. What the heck are the Young Turks? They are, I would say they are Republicans who don't understand that they're Democrats. And the reality is they're so confusing and they're so confused that nobody's really listening to them anymore. And to me, like, if you want, relevant YouTube political commentary, it exists. It's called Breaking Points. It's Sagar Angetti and Crystal Ball. And essentially, the Young Turks are what they were 10 years ago, right? So Cenk Uygur is the primary voice from them, okay? And he just announced that he is running for president, right? On the Democrat ticket, right? Now, why did he do that? So first of all, yeah, we'll talk about why he did this. This is really fascinating. He did this. This gets so complicated, but you know what? I'm gonna make it simple, right? Actually, he doesn't think he's gonna win. This is the first candidate I've ever heard say, "I don't think I'm gonna win," right? And first of all, I'm gonna say right now, Cenk Uygur, you should stay the heck out of this. You had no business. If you don't think you're gonna win, you got no business in the race. Okay, winners only, please, right? Not people with an agenda, right? Your agenda needs to be win, right? If you don't think you can win, get out of the race, right? And so Cenk Uygur does not actually think he can win. He explained that the reason he's getting in is to pry Biden out of the race, right? He is saying that he believes, now he has 100% right about this. He says that President Biden is a guaranteed loss. I 100% agree with him on that. So he's saying, hey, I care about the Democrat Party, and I don't want us to run a guaranteed loser. I get that. I have a lot of sympathy for that, right? You know, like I wouldn't want my party to be running a guaranteed loser either, right? Donald Trump is definitely not a guaranteed loser. You know, that dude throws down, right? He's dangerous. He is as dangerous gets. As a candidate, as a person, as a candidate, and as, not as a person, I want to say as a role model. He's dangerous as a candidate. He's dangerous as a role model. I don't think he's dangerous as a person. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Anybody that lies as much as him might be dangerous even as a person. He wrote a book that literally said he's a habitual, dyed-in-the-wool, dedicated liar. Just read it. It's called Art of the Deal, right? Okay, all right. So maybe, yeah, I have to say, if you make a habit of lying constantly, yeah, like people have this habit of believing that words that come out of humans' mouths are truth, right? And so if you hack that fundamental underpinning, literally, of society itself, then yeah, I think you might be dangerous as a person, right? So sorry, I think there's a good possibility that President Trump is actually dangerous as a person because he makes a habit of lying, right? Like, and I'm not saying that he literally wrote a book that told us that, right? Like, you just have to read this book, right? All right, let's keep going. All right, so Cenk Uygur comes in and he's saying, hey, we have to pry this guy out of the candidacy. And boy, is he right? So we are incredibly blessed. November 8th is the third showing that the Republican Party is still absolutely dedicated to democracy rather than gerontocracy, right? And so the Republicans, hey, you can put whatever complaints you want on the Republicans, but they're a real American party. The Democrats, what they're doing is absolutely the destruction of democracy itself, right? They are not even allowing debates to occur. They are silencing every single competitor for their corpse candidate, like their corpse progressing candidate, like President Biden. I'm absolutely certain, after watching Dianne Feinstein die and everyone knowing that it was outrageously irresponsible for her to serve another day, that there is no future for President Biden except a coffin if he gets reelected. I don't think for 1 second, looking at his demeanor, looking at the way he talks, every single thing about him fits lock to the solid on Dianne Feinstein, who just died, right? Like, Dianne Feinstein, in my opinion, is absolutely solid proof that there's no possibility that President Biden, based on his age, will live through another term. I don't believe for 1 second, right? So basically, and in order to get this shambolic, like, simulacrum of a candidate, President Joseph Biden, to be president again, the Democrat Party is quite aware. They had to answer this question 4 years ago. Now, there's no question that he is completely inappropriate and has no capability to finish another term, right? Not even live through another term, right? It's, in my humble opinion, right? So, basically, you have this situation where Cenk Uygur is like, this has got to stop. And so he's trying to hack the system to stop President Biden from being the candidate. Now, I think that's wrong. And the reason why is if you don't think you can win, get out of the way and let real candidates actually move forward, right? But right now, there's a ton of material that's happening where, there's a ton of activity around this situation where people just don't believe. People don't believe that this is happening. Oh, and there's no debates on. There is absolutely no debates on the Democrat side, which is just outrageously irresponsible, right? So here's the whole of it. Vivek Ramaswamy has real momentum. He is only one of 4 candidates that's qualified for the third debate, right? He's done tremendous jobs by every metric, and President Donald Trump is communicating every single day he can't handle debate. He certainly cannot handle a world on fire, right? Which is exactly where we are right now. And if you haven't noticed, right, Vladimir Putin was like, hey, every dictator in the world, hey, every villain group in the world, you got a year and a half to get your evil done before a Republican president shows up and shuts down all the fun, right? And Vladimir Putin has inspired a fresh, burning new conflict, right? New villain group steps forward and says, oh yeah, watch the world burn, everybody. We're ready. We're going to show you chaos. We're going to show you violence. We're going to show you tears. We're going to show you flames, right? And the fire that started in Ukraine, caused by Vladimir Putin, is now spreading all over the world. And the word is out. America's got a coward president who will not use its military, will not go boots on the ground, no matter what your villainy is, right? And the fire is spreading. The fire is spreading, right? So we're in a burning world. We need a real candidate. Vivek Ramaswamy has courage, capability. He has the greatest superpower of any candidate today. He can jump over microphone wires, right? Which would literally break half the bones in the body of the two 80-year-old gerontocracy candidates that the Republicans and the Democrats are serving up. Cenk Uygur is not a threat to Vivek Ramaswamy. He's not a threat to anyone because even he doesn't think he can win, right? So the reality is Cenk Uygur is really not a significant player. Vivek Ramaswamy does not need to spend one breath, saying anything about him. I've already done it for you. There you go. You're welcome, Vivek. And he should continue moving forward. He doesn't need to speak about, I don't think he needs to speak a whole lot of, he'll need to mention Donald Trump every now and then, right? But the reality is he should focus on his real competitors. Vivek's real competitors right now are Tim Scott and Nikki Haley. That's who he should focus on. Every word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider like subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.